You are not free to leave.
No.
You are not free to leave. If you go in the house, understand that's obstruction.
So shut up.
Today, we bring you a one-of-a-kind case where a corrupt deputy misused his position so much that he got decertified. And a big role in that was none other than his wife's.
Is there any way you can give me a one-time professional courtesy if I show you my ID? I'll be sure to let my agency know that if we stop one of you guys, make sure you issue the ticket.
Have a good night.
No, ma'am.
No? Where do you live?
I live in a house.
A house? Your mom's house?
No.
I bet you do. I bet you live with mommy.
I don't have any family in Florida.
Kathy?
Dr. Coker.
I'm sorry?
I'm Dr. Coker.
Okay.
Okay, so here's what's gonna happen. You're gonna leave. You're gonna go to jail. Which one do you want it to be?
I'll go to jail.
Want to go to jail?
Yeah. We used to work at jail.
The whole story started on June 11, 2018. Deputy Dwayne Eddie Coker's wife, Catherine, was confronted by Pasco Deputy Aiken for running a stop sign in her neighborhood.
So I'm actually doing a traffic stop now.
Why?
I'm trying to stop sign back there.
Didn't?
Yes, you did.
We didn't.
Yes, you did. Can I have your license, driver's license? Proof of registration?
You have a video of it.
I don't need a video. I saw you do it.
No, you need a video.
No, I don't. I saw you do it.
Sure you did. You're harassment from my neighbors. Well, we'll be going to court because you did not see me do it.
Okay, if you say so.
Okay, I do say so. And I don't know about my insurance. It's on there. Because I know you didn't see shit. I have a perfect driving record, so good luck with that.
Right from the get-go, we learned that this woman was a certified Karen.
You guys have been targeting me and targeting me and targeting me because all the neighbors complain, and I'm not doing anything. So I don't know how to get at my insurance. I don't know. Whatever. Write me a ticket for my insurance. I don't know. I can't.
Can you log into it? Or no?
I don't know. I don't know how. I know I'm allowed to have it online, but
Yeah. Do you have? Is it Geico, Progressive?
it's AAA.
I didn't know that insurance. Do they have an app for it?
I would think so. I've never had to log into it before. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how to do it. There's no way to put their. I don't know. I haven't been pulled over in like 20 years, so I don't know. I have no idea how to do it.
But it's AAA?
Yep.
Okay. Well, just do me a favor and just hang tight till I'm done, okay?
Yep. Harassment.
She was hauling ass. What's that?
I have my food inside.
Oh, hold on. You can't go inside yet. It's a traffic stop.
I'm at my house.
I understand that, but it's a traffic stop. You have to hang tight.
No, I gotta put my food in the fridge.
If you go in the house, I will arrest you for obstruction.
For what?
Obstruction. Resisting without. This is only.
Food in the house.
This is a traffic stop, so you're not free to leave.
No.
You are not free to leave.
No.
You are not free to leave. If you go in the house, understand
You're
that
fucking harassing me. You are.
if you go in the house, I'm just telling you, if you go in the house, that's obstruction. So just hang tight for a couple minutes. That's all I'm asking.
This was indeed a traffic stop, and with the Karen-like behavior Catherine displayed, Deputy Aiken didn't want to take any chances.
If you go in the house, understand that's obstruction.
Fucking house, so shut up.
Okay. Hello,
Hey,
sir.
man, how's it going?
Not bad, yourself?
Good, good. I'm Eddie Coker.
Deputy Aiken, how you doing?
Hey, man. Yeah, I work for HCSO.
Okay.
So I'm trying to. What happened?
She ran the stop sign.
Constantly call on me. I did not run the stop sign.
Do you have something showing her running the stop sign, or
I saw it.
you saw it?
I saw it.
He didn't see it.
Moments after forcibly leaving the traffic stop scene, Coker's wife came back with his smooth talker husband.
I didn't run it. It's not on video. You didn't.
So I'm sure, since you know you're
Right.
No, you didn't see it.
I'm sure you know since you're a deputy.
Yeah.
I saw it. I'm telling you, I saw it.
Right.
So
You're wrong.
that's probable cause for me to conduct a traffic stop, which is
You're
what I'm doing.
No.
Relax.
It's fucking harassment.
Relax.
I'm going to court because you didn't see it.
Relax.
So give me my fucking ticket and go.
Would you
Give me
relax? Relax.
No, it's harassment.
Well, as you can see, that's probable cause to do the stop.
Absolutely.
If she wants to take it to court,
I
if
see where you're
she
coming
can take it to court, that's up to her. There's not much else I can say on that one.
Right. Yeah, is there any way you can give me a one-time professional courtesy if I show you my ID?
I have to. We've been getting complaints in Seven Oaks in general. I'm
Okay.
assuming you've seen a lot of us in Seven Oaks
Right.
within the last couple of weeks. It's been in general, so because of that, we're enforcing everything.
Okay. Well, I'll be sure to let my agency know that if we stop one of you guys, make sure you issue the ticket.
That's on you.
Okay. All right, man.
Coker's pretty please attempt didn't work. It's ironic to know that Catherine is a psychologist while behaving like she might need one for herself. Catherine was a repeat offender, and the neighbors had complained multiple times for her rash driving.
I assume you have her on video running a stop sign. So when we go to court,
I saw it, but she can take it to court. That's
Okay.
fine. So at this point, I mean, she can give her case. I'll give my case.
Okay. That's fine. We'll go ahead and take the ticket then. And we'll take it to court.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right.
So just give me a couple minutes. Just do me a favor and hang out over there for
Yeah,
me.
sure.
Can I get your name and number and your card?
I will do that once I'm done.
Please hurry. Can you tell me again exactly what I
Ran the stop sign.
did? And you saw me.
Yes.
You're lying.
Okay.
He's just kowtowing to all these bitches that live on the street that complain about me.
Okay.
Because he got nothing better to do.
This back. Okay. So for the proof of insurance, like you told me to cite before, that one all you have to do is just show the proof. I'm
can't
assuming
find
you're
my
going to take. I'm assuming you're going to take it to court anyway.
Yes,
so for
I
that
am. When's the
one,
court date?
you have to call to get the court date.
How do I do that?
Call one of the numbers on the back. Clerk of the court, Pasco Sheriff's Office.
All right.
So for that one, once you prove that you have insurance, I'm sure that you do.
She had a burning passion to just take everything to court, but the main focus is still on Coker since he tried to misuse his position as an HCSO police officer.
And you have, I've explained the three options. One, pay the ticket.
No.
Two,
No.
take the course,
No.
in which case you wouldn't get points. Or
No.
three, take it to court.
No, go to court.
You have to make the choice within 30 days for
I've
which
already
one you
made my
choose.
choice. Thank you.
But you,
Okay.
can I finish?
No, I'm done. Come on, just let me sign.
Can I explain it? You don't have to sign.
No,
Let him-
I don't
let him
care.
talk.
I don't
Just let me.
care.
I just want to explain it to you.
I don't want to hear it. You don't have to. You're free. You don't have to
Can
explain.
Let him explain.
I don't want to.
Let him explain.
I
You
just
didn't
want
see
to
me do
explain.
shit, so you know
That's
it.
for court.
Okay.
You're gonna take
Yeah.
me to court,
All right.
so
That's the
All right.
let me explain
I
it to
don't
you.
care.
Okay.
No.
Relax.
No.
Relax.
You know, you're
Relax.
doing this because these bitches on the street keep complaining because they have nothing better to do.
Well, I'm just gonna say it off. If you want to interrupt me, that's on you. Pay the ticket is one. Two,
No.
you can take the
No.
traffic course, in
No.
which case you won't get the
No.
points. The last one is to pick a court or take it
Okay.
to court.
Yes, I will see
You
you
have
there.
30 days to pick whichever one you're going to do.
Okay.
If by chance you choose to do the
No.
traffic course,
No.
it
I
has to
didn't do
be
anything
done
wrong, so I'm gonna take
within
it to court.
30 days, as well as
Okay.
paying the ticket within the 30 days.
Okay.
You know-
I have proof that I've been targeted.
you go.
I have proof.
I mean, I don't like to make a big deal out of it or anything like that, but I know
It's wrong.
when you show a professional courtesy, agency
wrong.
to agency,
It's wrong.
Why are you not? Just
I'm doing my job.
No,
Nothing.
no, you're not. You're getting complaints from these bitches on the street.
I'm just
No.
asking.
No. I
So
work
we got,
for you.
like,
I'm going to get it
here-
taken care of. I work
No,
for them.
Relax.
No.
We've gotten complaints in Seven Oaks in general. I'm sure you've seen within the last couple of weeks, we've been in here a lot. And we've been citing majority of the people. So,
But you knock it off.
so that's why.
Yes, you heard that right. Catherine just shouted the N-word at Deputy Aiken. She's a menace to society and needs to be behind bars instead of helping people with their mental problems. It's also shocking to see that Catherine also works for HCSO.
I'll say my part, and from there, it's up to the judge.
So that's why if she would have been nice and calm and everything like that, the professional courtesy probably would have been done. But since she's upset, it's a POP ticket.
I did not say that.
Okay.
And I didn't say that.
Okay, but just a moment ago, you just motioned to her and said, well, since she's like that.
When did I say that?
Just now. You just now said that. Okay, whatever. I got it. So you were sitting next to the stop sign. And because I guess we're going to try and subpoena your body camera as evidence.
It'll be there too. You'll see where I came from.
Unfortunately, the body camera won't go, well, because of this. Because you just did that. I'm telling you, you just did it. I saw it. And I understand how the POP tickets...
Huh?
Okay, whatever, sir. You can act.
You're confusing me at this point. You
No.
got me. Whatever.
That's okay. I got you.
But any questions for me?
She got your card.
Yep. It's got my name. It's got my badge number is actually on the ticket at the bottom. 3942.
And can you write down your direct supervisor? You didn't see her run the stop sign, and you're going based on calls. And then when I asked you professional courtesy, you wave your hand to her and go, well, she's like that. That does seem like it's a little personal.
It's Sergeant Medina.
Okay, cool.
Call him there. But any other questions?
Yeah, can you call him? Because I'd like to speak to him now.
Hey, you can call him.
So you're unwilling to call him?
I'm not gonna call him.
Okay.
But you can call him.
So you're unwilling to give me a supervisor or anything?
All you have to do is call the supervisor. On the back where it says District 2.
So if I'm requesting a supervisor, you're unwilling to
I'm not unwilling. You can call them.
Well, if you're unwilling, that means you're willing.
You can call them.
So if you're not going to call them, that means you're unwilling.
You can call them.
So you're unwilling to call a supervisor for me if I'm requesting one?
You want a supervisor, you can request
yes, I'm
one
requesting a supervisor.
via
Could you
dispatch.
please call one?
Via dispatch.
So you're not going to call one for me?
I'm not.
Okay, good. All right.
Anything else?
No, man. I hope you know the next Pasco guy got stopped.
Okay, that's fine.
Coker just really wanted this ticket brushed over like it was nothing, but this Iron Will deputy was not going to budge.
Hey, this is Sergeant Formby of the Pasco Sheriff's Office. How you doing?
Hey, how are you doing, sir?
I'm okay. What can I help you with?
Okay. I'm sorry. I was expecting a different sergeant, but I guess you'll work. We just had a dealing with a deputy out in front of our house.
Uh-huh.
A deputy Aiken.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy was being a straight up ass. I'm sorry to use that kind of phrase to you and everything like that. Because, I'm a deputy with Hillsborough, and I've been there 15 years. And this guy was straight up ass. I don't know if he's been there, since serving since yesterday or whatever like that, and he's out to save the world or whatever. But let me also start from the beginning.
Hey, you know what? Hey, can you give me just 1 second? Hold on 1 second, sir.
Coker then tried to file a complaint against Aiken. What Coker didn't know was that Aiken had told his superiors about the incident already, and they also had been keeping track of the complaints received against Coker's wife.
We're on the other line with that guy real quick. He's calling in to complain. The deputy. Yeah. No, we'll handle it real quick. Yes, basically. He's saying that he was rude or something. We just called him, so I'll feel it out and let you know what it is. Yep. Alright, bye. We're on the other line with that guy real quick. He's calling in to complain. The deputy. Yeah. No, we'll handle it real quick. Yes, basically. He's saying that he was rude or something. We just called him, so I'll feel it out and let you know what it is. Yep. Alright, bye.
Are you there, sir?
Yeah.
Hello?
Alright. Bye.
Hello, sir?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry. I had a bit of an issue with my phone. All right, so go ahead. It's so Deputy Aiken. I guess you had a run-in with him, and he was.
I didn't actually have run-in with him. My wife did.
Oh, okay.
She pulled to the driveway, and I was inside because today's my day off, and she calls me on the phone and says, "Hey, can you step outside? I'm dealing with a deputy out here that is treating me like garbage." And I'm like, "Okay." So I step outside, and the deputy is saying that he saw her run a stop sign in the neighborhood. And she's saying it's impossible. There's no way she ran a stop sign in the neighborhood. So I was like, so I said, "Hey, trying to be peacemaker here. Can I just ask you what you saw?" And he goes, "Okay, well, who are you?" And I was like, "I'm a deputy with Hillsborough. I'm not trying to impede on you, or I just want to ask you what happened." He's like, "Sure, I'd be happy to tell you." He goes, "Your wife ran a stop sign." And I asked him, I was like, "So you got on dash cam where you saw it, or what happened?" And he goes, "Well, I saw it." And I was like, "Well, so you were sitting there?" My wife said he was not sitting there. He was like a whole block down, and he came out of a side street, followed her up into the driveway, and then turned his light.
Coker was doubling down on the narrative that the deputy had specifically targeted his wife.
No, there's a neighbor down here. Avis. They hate me because I'm a cop. So they call you guys nonstop, saying that I should buy their house in my police car, I'm flipping off their kids in uniform, anything and everything to try and get me in trouble. You know, I sat down with my supervisors at work, and they're like, it's a joke. They know it's a joke. Everybody knows it's a joke. Now they're going after my wife. My wife runs through the neighborhood, speeds through 70 miles an hour, and my wife has a perfect driving record and everything like that. Anyway, get to the part with this dude being a jerk. I'm standing in front of him, and you know how it works. I'm sure, I don't know how the professional courtesy thing works with you guys, but with us, if you ask, you say, hey, you know, I'm a deputy or a police officer or highway patrol or whatever like that, and ask for one-time professional courtesy, you know, and he goes, no, we don't do that. I'm doing my job. And I'm like, okay, well, you know, it's fine. Can I ask why? He goes, when I have to deal with people who are like that, he pointed right at my wife, and I'm like, oh, hold on a minute. What do you mean, people like that? And why are you pointing at my wife?
Coker just glosses over the fact that his wife called Deputy Aiken the N-word and proceeds to accuse him of misbehaving with Catherine. I'm surprised she didn't lose her job at HCSO after her racist remarks.
You have no reason to point at my wife like that. He goes, and I was like, listen, dude, I've been doing this job probably before you were born. And or you're a teenager, I'm not going to say when you were born. I was like, I know all about the PLP tickets. I know about the PLP arrests. Everybody does them. And he looked at me and he rolled his eyes and smiled and goes, oh, no, sir. I have no idea what you're talking about, sir. And I'm like, okay, well, we're not getting anywhere on this. Can I get your supervisor? He goes, well, I'm not getting my supervisor. You get it. I'm like, okay, well, do you have the number to your supervisor? No, I don't have the number to your supervisor. So I said, you're unwilling to give me your supervisor's information? He goes, no, I'm not unwilling. I'm like, well, sir, you're telling me you're not giving it to me. That means you're unwilling. He goes, call dispatch. They'll get it. And I'm like, why are you being like this? I'm simply asking for a supervisor, and you're refusing even to give me a phone number. I can give him a ticket just as fast, but guess what? I won't do it because it's a professional courtesy, it's a professional standard. So I don't appreciate you, one, rolling your eyes at me when you're talking to me, and two, pointing your finger at my wife and lying and referring to her as that. And he's like, well, you got to call him, call my supervisor. And I was like, I'd be happy to. What's your supervisor's number? Call dispatch, they'll give it to you. And he got back in his car. And I'm like, wow. So it's like that now, is it? Listen, dude, I'm not Sarge. I'm not expecting you to kiss my ass. I'm not expecting anything. I'll expect you to make the kids go away. But to be treated that way by a fellow deputy is not right.
It's important to note that Coker was never a police officer. He was just a detention deputy pretending to be one. Detention deputies oversee a group of inmates that are in prison, and thus they do not have squad cars or the same credentials and authority. So at this point, Coker was impersonating a police officer.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, as far as the professional courtesy thing goes, if there's any,
that's fine. You know, cops ask for it. Everybody does. I can't tell you how many times I've had a highway patrolman look at me and go, dude, can I get a professional courtesy just one time? I'm like, yeah, whatever. You know, it's what we do for each other, but I don't expect it. I don't expect it.
Well, if
what I don't like is
asked for
treating me that way.
Let me ask you this, though. I gave you a chance to talk, and I'm trying to respond to you now, but you just cut me off within, like, 2 words of me responding back to you. So I just want to make sure we can have a proper communication. We have to have a sender and a receiver. So it's right. I just want to make sure that now I get to kind of rebut some of the things that you said and address them with you, and then we'll just keep going back and forth. All right, so as far as the professional courtesy thing goes, I think it's a undocumented but well-known practice that's occurred from time to time, but it should never be expected. And as far as our agency goes, if there's anything that we pride ourselves with the most, it's the fact that we do hold each other accountable, and probably to a higher standard than everyone else. I think the fact that...
I disagree with that, but go ahead.
I think the fact that the deputy spoke with you in the first place on a traffic stop that didn't involve you, that in and of itself was pretty courteous of him, because I wouldn't have entertained that. I would have done my traffic stop first, and then I'd have came and talked to you afterwards. That's just because that's how I handle my business. So I don't find that to be inappropriate.
Okay.
As far as the declaring war on your agency, we're not ever doing that. That's quite absurd to me. I don't think that's something that I would...
He shook his head and he said yes and said, okay.
He said yes, that he's declaring war on your agency?
Yeah. I said, well, fine, dude. You want to declare war on our agency? We can do that. And he shook his head up and down and goes, that's fine.
But what would make you say that, though? Like what?
You know, Sarge, no disrespect to you, but I'm just going to take my complaint to the ethics committee with you guys as agency, and we're just going to roll with that.
Yeah, okay. Well, just before you do,
because I
understand that sir. Well, I'm not going to give you your way, but understand that the deputy uses. They have body cameras, so just be very careful about the things that you accuse him of saying and not saying, because they better be accurate.
Watch as Coker corners himself with his own statements. Kudos to this sergeant for holding his peers accountable. No professional courtesy should be allowed or entertained in the police force. Coker also made some very baseless accusations towards the deputy, signaling that he, wanted to declare war on the agency. Statements like these would definitely come back to bite him soon enough.
Give you the supervisor's number, because that would be inappropriate as well. You would need to contact dispatch and get that. We don't hand out phone numbers to other people on the street. That's not inappropriate. So, or that is not appropriate.
It's okay to give me a supervisor's name?
Yeah, he could have given you a name. He may not have known which one would be calling you back. So, that's something that we could address with him in the future. He probably could have given at least somebody to ask for. But you did say that you were expecting a different sergeant, which makes me believe that maybe you did have somebody to ask for.
Yeah, he gave me a Sergeant Matias.
Well, there you go. He gave you the sergeant's name.
Following this are a number of different interviews that were conducted in response to the corruptness of Edward Coker. The first interview plays over the body cam of footage of Catherine's 2020 arrest, where she refused to leave a bar. She was charged with resisting and trespassing. Multiple deputies testified about Catherine's driving and her husband's misuse of his position, starting with PSO Captain Tate Sanborn. Tate was referring to an HOA meeting where he was invited due to multiple complaints by the community.
Did this family or this particular female that apparently is driving erratic, and I focus on this, were there any particulars that came up about her husband and her husband's employment or concerns from the community?
Certainly. When I went to the HOA meeting, it was populated almost entirely by the HOA board on the one side of the table, and on the other side in the audience was I think with maybe one exception, it was entirely neighbors from, by my rough estimate, there was 25 or so people there, which is significantly higher than most of the HOA meetings that I go to. Even when I'm kind of touted as a guest speaker, usual attendance somewhere sits around the 10 to 12 area. And to see all of those individuals come from a particular subset of the overall was relatively surprising. As we started to get into the details of the conversation, it was very clear that there was a lot of frustration. Some of that frustration was directed at me as a representative of the Sheriff's Office, because the lady in question, according to members of the community, kind of presented herself as there was also an equal concern that her husband was a deputy sheriff with the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office, and that maybe there was an agreement, some sort of, for lack of a better term, professional courtesy or something, that we were somehow cutting these people a break because of their connections to and the Hillsborough Sheriff's Office.
Coker probably didn't know about all the recordings the neighbors had of Kathy's driving. Next up was PSO Deputy Duriel Aiken.
Tell me how this all started. Initially, there were complaints, and at one point, now Sergeant Dimbo received information that there was a traffic violator. For him, he was informed that a blue Nissan SUV would continuously speed, run stop sign and whatnot within, even though there are kids driving or not driving, kids outside playing, because it's a neighborhood. Right. Maybe 25 people at the HOA meeting, which I've never seen that many people at a HOA meeting. And alone, I would say roughly 20 of the people there were all. Okay. And each person was talking about the same vehicle, which is a Nissan Rogue, I believe, blue, and it was the same person driving it, which her name.
Okay.
They ended up mentioning that she was, and her husband, Ed or Eddie, was a deputy with Hillsborough.
Okay.
They gave concerns that one reason why nothing has happened to them was because of their affiliation with law enforcement.
Okay.
And they just kept trying, and that's how we ended up getting to the meeting.
Okay. The neighbors consistently all agree that there's an issue with this one family, and it's the Cokers.
Yes.
Okay. Did they mention anything about Deputy Coker making any comments about him being in law enforcement, mentioned by the neighbors to you that you can recall?
That I can't recall.
Okay. So
Deputy Duriel backed up Captain Tate's description of the whole ordeal. Mind you that these interviews were conducted independently. Next up was Edward Coker himself.
before we get started, how long have you been employed with the Sheriff's Office and in what capacity?
I'm a detention deputy. I work over at Falcon Road Jail, and I've been there since 2006.
Okay, so roughly 12 years.
Yes, sir.
Okay. During your time with the Sheriff's Office, have you, has the entire time been at Falcon Road Jail, or have you worked anywhere else here within the Sheriff's Office?
Yes, sir. I worked over at Orient Road Jail.
Okay. So Orient Road and Falkenberg. Any special assignments, or just been working the pods?
Hospital duty, booking. I've done transport of inmates from the hospital and between jails. I've done pretty much, and currently I'm working in the lockdown unit.
Okay.
So I've pretty much done a little bit of everything.
So currently in lockdown. Were you in transportation?
No, sir.
Oh, okay. All right.
But I have transported inmates.
Any kind of law enforcement agency that you've worked for?
I worked for the University of Tampa, which is their security.
Okay. Remember what years you worked there?
As while I was going through school, so probably I graduated in 04, probably from 99 to 03,
okay.
2000 to 03, something like that.
And that's not a law enforcement position, that's more of just a security. Am I correct on that?
I believe they were considered reserves.
Did you go to any kind of law enforcement
No,
academy?
sir. No, sir.
Okay, no law enforcement training?
No, sir.
For that? Okay.
No, sir.
Have you ever been a law enforcement officer?
No, sir.
Okay. Have you ever been assigned a marked HCSO vehicle?
I've driven vehicles in transportation capacities, but never been assigned a vehicle. No, sir.
Okay. Nothing that you would take home, your transportation vehicle?
No, sir.
Any type of, have you ever conducted a traffic stop?
In a more professional setting interview, Coker's position as a cop, with his claims of having a patrol car to pull people over, went right out the window.
An interaction that you had with the Pasco County Sheriff's Office during a traffic stop of your wife?
Yes, sir.
And then your actions afterwards.
Yes, sir.
And that's the main focus of this. There are some other things that have come to light, but the main focus is that. So with that being said, you reviewed body cam footage, you reviewed phone calls made by you. Do you feel you've done anything wrong?
I feel like I overreacted, yes, sir.
Okay, so tell me how.
His confidence went down the drain. The detective then humiliates Coker by making him read out what was actually said during the traffic stop.
When you allege that Deputy Akins with the Pasco County Sheriff's Office allegedly says that's why I have to deal with that.
That.
And he points at your wife.
Yes, sir.
That's your testimony.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So here's what I want you to read, and I want you to read it. This is verbatim transcripts from that. Okay.
And we've been citing a majority of people. You want me to read?
Yeah, this is what your wife says.
Kathy. Pasco deputy. So.
That's you. I'm sorry.
Myself. Would you knock it off?
Kathy.
Pasco deputy. So that's why. But again, she could take it to court. That's fine. She has her argument. I'll say my part, and from there it's up to the judge. So myself, Coker, Deputy Coker. So that's why if she would have been nice and calm and everything, that the professional courtesy probably would have been done, but since she's upset, it's a POP ticket.
Okay. So that's the interaction where you say that Deputy Akins points at your wife and says, I had to deal with that.
Huge props for this detective for grilling Coker on the spot. But Coker gets cooked a lot more in the interviews after this one. In the meantime, if you're enjoying the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already.
During that time,
I honestly don't remember. I don't remember seeing that before she walked inside.
Because here's my concern, Deputy Coker, is your wife calls him that. That was uncomfortable for you to read.
Absolutely.
That was uncomfortable for you to read.
Because that word is...
But yeah. Oh, yeah. So the issue I have is, you tell her to stop, so you heard her. Now, whether it registered what she said or not, but what it appears, what the perception of it is, she says that, you tell her to be quiet, and then you continue to demand professional courtesy from Deputy Akins. And then you start getting onto him saying that he's insulting your wife. That's an issue. And the first thing that I saw when I see this is, I think the average person, if they heard that and they disapprove of that type of language, would be to go, you know what, look, I'm sorry, that's not her, she's frustrated, or make some sort of excuse or apologize or something, but you don't do that.
I honestly didn't hear that before. Actually, I should not even got involved. If I had to do it all over again, I wouldn't even have got involved. And I take ownership of that, and I accept responsibility that I should not have even gotten involved. I should have told her, you know, you deal with this, I'll take the rest of the groceries in, I'll do whatever needs to be done in that aspect. But I thought I could help my wife. She was obviously upset, and...
I mean, look, your wife's an adult, and there's nothing you can do about what comes out of her mouth and her actions, and you know, I don't expect you to be responsible for her actions, okay?
Yes,
what we expect you to do is, when you identify yourself as a deputy with the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office, to act in an appropriate professional manner. Do you feel you acted that way?
No, sir. Like I said, I should have stayed completely out of it. It wasn't my place.
Your vehicle, whether it's you driving, is in that video, is it you driving?
That's definitely not my vehicle.
Well, it's a blue Nissan Rogue.
And I wanted to bring that up to you. It seems like I'm just referring to my note.
So let me ask you this.
Sure.
All of the neighbors say that that's your car. It matches your car. I'm not saying you were driving, but it matches your car. And the neighbors are saying that. All right? People are writing to that. So are you saying that there's a conspiracy by your neighborhood to gang up on the Cokers?
I don't know. But I know in a couple of those videos, it looks like a black vehicle. If you go back to the original report that was sent over to the sheriff's office via email, we had a meeting with Major 80 right after we received that report. And in that report, it says it's a black SUV. It's reported as a black SUV driving through the neighborhood.
Okay.
Neither one of us driving a black SUV.
Well,
So maybe the neighbors are mistaken. I don't know.
Okay.
A couple of those videos are very difficult to see.
Well, here's my thing.
Sure.
Here's my thing with you. I would like to give you the benefit of the doubt, but would you say in your interactions with Pasco, from the traffic stop all the way to the phone call to their comm center and the phone call to the sergeant to file a complaint, do you feel you were completely truthful in all of those?
As I saw it, yes, sir.
Saw it.
I think I may have overreacted.
Okay, so you feel that you were truthful, but you didn't overreact. I mean, you overreacted, but you were truthful in all of it.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let me stop you there. So when you tell...
Coker really think he was going to get off that easily. He was delusional to think that the whole neighborhood was conspiring against him. The detective then moves on to Coker's remarks during his complaint.
When you file your complaint that when you drive your patrol car home and that when you've done traffic stops on highway patrolmen and they ask you for professional courtesy all the time, would you say that's a truth or a lie?
I honestly don't remember saying I stopped highway patrolmen.
You did?
I've been stopped by the highway patrol, and I asked for professional courtesy like about 4 or 5 years ago.
Okay, but you refer to stopping highway patrolmen in that video and asking for professional courtesy. And they've asked you for professional courtesy, and you give it all the time. You infer that you're going to basically, you try to say that Deputy Aiken said that he was starting a war with Hillsborough County, and there was going to be a war between Pasco and Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office. You say that you're gonna next time you stop a Pasco deputy, you're gonna write him a ticket. Well, if you work in the jail, you don't have a patrol car. How are you going to stop someone?
I'm not going to stop anyone.
But you said it. So were you being truthful or untruthful in that statement?
If that's the case, then I was being untruthful.
Okay. When you make reference that in your patrol car, the neighbors are all against you, and as you drive down the street in your patrol car, they allege that you're giving them the bird, and they don't like cops. Would that be a truth or a lie?
Well, when I drive home in my car...
No. Your patrol car. You specifically said patrol car. Detective Shea and I both watched these videos numerous times. You said patrol car. And you referred to that, and you basically referred to yourself and made it appear that you were a law enforcement deputy out on the street.
Well, I apologize if that's how I made it appear, because that's not the case.
I know it's not the case, but that's what you did.
I apologize for that.
Why would you do that?
That was not my intent.
So what was your intent?
Basically, when I drive home, I'm in my uniform.
No, but what is your intent in trying to portray yourself as a law enforcement deputy on the street, telling Pasco County that?
I didn't think I was trying to portray myself as a law enforcement deputy.
So what do you think you're doing when you tell them that when you conduct traffic stops and you drive your patrol car home, and that and next time you do a traffic stop, you're gonna every Pasco guy is gonna write a ticket? What are you trying to do? If it's not your intent to portray yourself as a law enforcement deputy, what are you trying to do?
I'm not sure. I mean, all I can tell is that at the point I was trying to help my wife, and I was pissed off because of the way this guy was rolling his eyes and the way he made that gesture towards my wife.
Well, we've shown that gesture that was not at your wife, and if I gotta tell you, I've watched that video I don't know how many times, and that Deputy Aiken, was absolutely the utmost professional to you and your wife. As your wife sat there and berated him and berated him and berated him and called him a racial slur, you're threatening him and other Pasco County deputies. He was the utmost professional. But yet then you double down and you call the comm center and you say this guy's scary, that you making up these complaints about him, and then they transfer you over to the sergeant calls you, and the sergeant reaches out to you, and then you just go all in with this. You go all in, and you say, you know what, I'm going to take this bluff, and I'm going to go all in with it. Why? To get your wife out of a ticket? Was that why?
I mean, when you say why, which question would you like me to...
Coker then proceeds to dodge the question, but the detective had enough of his BS. Next up is the juicy part.
I'm dumbfounded by this. My concern is, here's the biggest thing out of all of this, because realistically, to interview you for this investigation, it's all on video, it's all recorded.
Yes, sir.
The thing I got to figure out at this point is, do I have a deputy that works here for the sheriff's office that is untruthful and will take untruthfulness to get his wife out of a ticket? Or do you lack such self-awareness and delusional when you get upset that you can't maintain any facts? Because here's the problem. The facts are there, sir. The facts are there, Dwayne. All there. Deputy Aiken gave you and your wife a lot of latitude. Because any type of, if you've ever done a traffic stop, one of the things is your wife would have been told to stand at the rear of the vehicle or sit inside the passenger and don't move. She is legally being detained.
Yes, sir.
You should have never been allowed up there. But he entertained you. He allowed you to come up there. He spoke with you. That traffic stop, I believe, was about 18 minutes. And quite frankly, it was about 15 minutes too long. But that's my opinion. Okay? Because your wife ran him through the ringer. And he maintained his composure. If anything, I wouldn't be concerned about you, Deputy Aiken, pointing to your wife. I would have concern with my wife treating a fellow deputy that way, because that was completely uncalled for. But like I said, she's an adult and there's nothing you can do about that. All right? Here at the sheriff's office to tell Deputy Aiken that I'm going to go back to my agency and tell everybody to write passcode tickets. What authority do you feel you have to make that statement?
I have no authority to make that statement, sir.
Why did you make that statement?
I was pissed, and I made a stupid statement, and I wish I could take it back, but I can't.
Then you tell the sergeant that Deputy Aiken basically said something to the effect of starting a war against us. Why would you say that? He never said it. Why would you say that to the sergeant?
Again, I was pissed off.
So would you say that was an untruthful statement?
I'm not sure what you mean.
When he said the war part, he probably felt like he was the sheriff or something, but this detective brought him down from his high horse in no time.
I didn't even see a body camera. All I know is that there's...
So it wasn't until the end where you pointed at his body camera and said, we're going to subpoena that. Is that when you realized he had a body camera?
I said you were going to subpoena that?
Oh, yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. To quote you, and I quote, because I guess we're going to try and subpoena your body camera as evidence. That's your statement. That's your statement right there. So, was that the point you realized he had a body camera?
I knew that Pasco County, all those guys were body cameras because...
But during this time, did you know he had a body camera on?
I didn't really think about it there towards, I guess. I don't even... It's just such a blur. I honestly don't even remember saying that.
Because here's the thing that concerns me. They talk about integrity. They talk about... it's something that you do when nobody else is watching.
Of course, everything is conveniently a blur for Coker right now. That's what happens when you get punched in the face with cold, hard evidence.
You're claiming he didn't give you the name of the supervisor. You're lying about your status with the sheriff's office, and referring and that you work the street. You're threatening Deputy Aikens with a war against the two agencies. That's Dwayne Coker right there, because Dwayne Coker didn't realize he was being videotaped. Do you realize, let me ask you this, you've been with the sheriff's office for 12 years, I'm sure you watch the news and you're aware of things. Law enforcement gets a bad rap at times because we just, there are things that we do and we deserve to get in trouble for, but there's a lot of times where people just make up stuff about cops and they get in trouble and it gets portrayed over the media and it gets blown way out of proportion, and then when the facts come out, the media never does the retraction story. And so we get a bad rap a lot of times for that. What you did, exactly that. If they had not had those body cameras, Pasco would probably be questioning their deputy. There'd be some things that we'd be curious about with you, but you probably, we look at him and go, well, the guy's been here 12 years, he hasn't had any problems, there's no issues, maybe it happened, maybe it didn't happen that way, and we have some questions, but it's clear, crystal clear, because we have that. And yet, we read your emails, you're going to go after this guy, you're filing complaints, you want to call the ethics commission, you're basically calling this guy corrupt when you're clearly in the wrong. So if you're saying that you weren't untruthful and that's what you perceive...
That deputy hit the nail right on the head. He exposed the real Croker in the most entertaining manner possible.
When you call Pasco County Sheriff's Office and you complain on him, you better have your facts right. And you didn't have your facts right. You lied. Yes, you did. Do you work on the street? Do you work on the street?
No, sir.
Okay. Have you done traffic stops?
No, sir.
Okay. Have you been asked by the Florida Highway Patrol for professional courtesy?
No, sur.
Okay. Have you ever written a POP ticket?
No, sir.
What is a POP ticket?
Pissed off police.
Okay. Who told you that?
I can't remember exactly where I heard it, but it's common knowledge.
Okay. So you've never worked the street, you have no knowledge of how traffic stop works.
And the issue just wasn't this one incident with his wife. Coker also used profanity while addressing inmates in emails to other deputies working with him.
You write to Corporal Ramos, R-A-M-O-S, I was dealing with an idiot and I did not hear you on the radio, sorry about that. I can almost promise you will have an unhappy F-tard come up to you when you're here today complaining. What does F-tard mean?
Fucktard.
Okay, what does that mean?
Like, just an idiot. I mean, I'm not sure how to break it down.
All right. So, did you get Corporal Ramos' response when he said, remember, emails are public record, refrain from using terms like that?
Yes, sir.
Did you continue to use that term?
In talking to Corporal Ramos?
Just anyone.
I think I might have said it in an email to my wife, but I'm not sure.
You sent it in multiple emails. Here's one March 29th of 2017. Warrant on F-tard still in effect. Let's see here.
That's her ex-husband up in Citrus County that is currently...
Okay.
$22,000 behind child support.
Is your email still public record?
Yes, sir.
Is that an offensive term that your corporal told you to stop using?
Yeah, he advised that I not use that term. Yes, sir.
Okay. And you used it again?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Sorry, I have to get a verbal response from the record to pick it up. So, how about this? Your wife asked you, are you still the tard whisperer? Effing tard spit toothpaste on me and desk. Have an issue with that? Do you think that's appropriate?
I think the inappropriate part is that he came up to my desk and spit a mouthful of toothpaste on me.
So as a professional, right? Because that's what we are. We're supposed to be professional, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel as a professional, because an inmate acts out, that you don't have to rise above that and be better than that? Is that what you're saying? Because he came up, you can call him an F-tard or an effing tard because he spit on your desk?
I didn't call him an effing tard. I referred to him as an effing tard in my email.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So it's acceptable to say that because he came and spit on your desk?
No, sir.
Then you state, luck as hell, I did not knock his teeth out. But it's a different world we work in now.
Right.
What does that mean?
That's exactly how it says. I refrain from... imagine you for a moment. Somebody comes up to you on the street and just spits a full-out mouthful of spit in your face.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So it's never going to cross your mind, I'm going to knock this freaking guy out.
No, I'm going to do my job and I'm going to remain a professional.
So it never crosses your mind if someone spits a mouthful of toothpaste in your face.
Oh, people get angry. Don't get me wrong.
That
You're going to put that in an email? You're going to write that in an email. That's what I should have done. I should have knocked his teeth out. But it's a different world we work in now.
But I didn't. I refrained from doing it.
Right, but it's a different world we work in now. So what changed? Because it's obviously clear that you would have done that, but something changed. So what changed?
Just the fact that I restrained myself. I didn't do it.
But that's not how it's portrayed on here. But it's a different world we work in now. So something changed, or else you would have done it.
It's a modern era. We don't live and work in the, I guess, like 1700s. I don't know.
Let me ask you this. You know emails are public record, correct?
Yes, sir.
And that the media could come in at any time and do a public records request, and I want to see all of Deputy Joanne Coker's emails, right? You know they can do that, and make a public records request and get those, right?
No, sir, I didn't know that.
Well, Corporal Ramos told you. Corporal Ramos said emails are public record. Remember that from 2016?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So fast forward. We know that you've known that since at least 2016, and you continue to still use that term. You make statements of, I should have knocked his teeth out. That goes out, the media gets that, and they put that on blast. They put this out. Look what Deputy Coker said. What's the public perception now of the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office and Deputy Coker?
Yes, sir, I do see your point of view.
What's the perception? Tell me, how does the public perceive?
This detective was not about to let him go. The scariest part is he's worked for the sheriff's department for 12 years. None of his superiors noticed he's a liar, threatening, and delusional.
Look at this lady. Look how they acted. She drops a racial slur. This guy says he's a deputy. He's going to wage war on our other deputies and go from that. Does that affect just you and your wife?
No, sir.
That affects me. That affects him. That affects everybody here at the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office. Everybody. I don't think you realize you made our entire agency look bad with Pasco. You said nobody's talked to you about it. He actually went out to your house. He went out to your house on June 6, 2018. Your wife slammed the door in his face. It's right here in the report.
How do you know that?
Hi, ma'am. How are you? So we got a call. I guess there was some speeding through the neighborhood.
They constantly accuse me of it, and it's bullshit. So.
Well, I saw a video today.
And unless you see me doing it, their video could be doctored.
No, I'm just saying.
I've had a beef with them for almost a year.
Okay.
They can go fuck themselves. Okay. I'm not doing anything wrong. They call the police on me constantly. I don't care. I did nothing wrong unless you catch me. Have a good day.
But that's the problem, Deputy Coker. You don't know all the facts, but you go off and get upset instead of being a fact finder. Okay? Instead of getting everything and taking an impartial view and overlooking everything, you get upset and you assume. Do you see how that's a problem? Do you see how that could be a problem? Do you feel that and you've already said your wife's behavior was not appropriate, right? You said your wife's behavior towards Deputy Aiken was not appropriate. Am I correct in that?
It was not appropriate.
Okay, so let me stop you. So based upon that, based upon the way she acted, based upon the neighbors seeing her, they videotaped it, I showed the videos in there, I could see how the neighbors get pissed off. I can see that. I don't agree with them threatening your family. I absolutely don't agree that. But when 20 of your neighbors show up to an HOA meeting, generally those things, people are apathetic. They don't care. But they showed up, and it's all because of one person. Whether your wife's doing it or not, your neighborhood perceives you as the nightmare neighbors. It's very clear. That's not specifically what they said, but Lord knows we've all moved places. We're like, oh gosh, I hope our neighbors are decent people. Your neighbors don't like you. I get that.
I think hate is a better word.
There you go. But I got to tell you, with my kid, if my kid's playing on the side of the road and seeing your wife to drive the way that she is, I would really be upset. And I think that if it was your kids out there and somebody was driving the way, that you'd be really upset. I think you would.
Absolutely, I agree.
We're all dads in this room. We're all dads. And we do anything for our kids to protect our kids, right? So all you see is this small view that your wife's telling you, right? That your wife's telling you, and you don't see all the facts. Think about that. What if you don't know all the facts, that you're only getting a minuscule part from your wife, and that it's biased? I'm not doing anything. I'm not saying that your wife's lying to you, but she may not be disclosing everything to you, or you may be hearing alternative facts. So why don't we get big picture? Why don't we look at all the facts surrounding this and say, you know what? Clearly something is wrong for these people to come up and threaten my family. Something happened. Because people just don't randomly come up and threaten people like that. I assume you live in a decent neighborhood.
Well, if he was smart enough to do that, it wouldn't have gotten to the point that 20 people had to show up just because one crazy woman was terrorizing the neighborhood. The investigation now addresses an incident where the deputies had an interaction with Catherine, and she admits to almost running over their children. Next, we get to see the actual testimonies from multiple neighbors that Catherine actually threatened to run over the kids.
And she's got the same speech that she was threatened as well. Her kids were threatened to be run over.
She had threatened to run the kids over.
Not good. Not good.
What can I do for you?
I was coming home from an event, coming down my street, and a neighbor, never seen him before, jumps in front of my car waving, and I weaved around him. I came home. He had just gotten home. I pulled in. My dog squirted out the door, so I came out running. I wheeled my trash down, and him and his wife come running and accosted me. The wife threatened to kill me and had wielded a broom at me.
She had a broom
above her head, threatening to kill me.
How far away was she from you? All right, about that close. Okay. So when she was holding it, like both hands above her head?
Yes, both hands above her head, so I'm gonna fucking kill you. I want her arrested. The only thing I can think of, they are horrible. I hate to say, they're horrible parents. Suits playing in the street. I almost ran one over a couple weeks ago because there's no parents. They don't supervise their kids. Their kids are never supervised. And my daughter can testify this.
Have you called in the abuse hotline for that?
No, I'm a psychologist. It's like, what am I getting?
She had threatened to run the kids over.
Judge her.
And I mean, she's not telling you the whole. I don't think she's telling you the whole story.
I mean, granted, I was upstairs when all this stuff broke loose, and my first contact with it was my son coming upstairs when there's some lady screaming after her at mommy.
I think the gentleman was shooing his wife into the house, and then the lady was yelling at
wearing white.
Yeah, wearing white. She said that he was a sheriff. So as she was driving, that she was going to run over the children and threatened to run them over. Then another lady came walking in with her phone, and she was like, I heard it too. I heard her say it. That's why I went to go get my phone, because she had threatened the kid.
The mom, threatened them that she was going to run them over next time, because she said that she pulled back the car, then pulled front, then pulled back, that she was going to run them over.
So just holding it. And
yeah, she wasn't going to swing her out.
She didn't have it like she was getting ready to knock a baseball out.
No, she was like, when I came out, she was actually outside of their driveway.
Complete my investigation. I'll come back and let you know, okay?
I mean, all right.
Who do you work for?
For Pasco?
No, what do you do there?
I'm a psychologist.
Okay. Do you work at the headquarters?
No, at the jail. I work for Pasco and Hillsborough County.
Okay.
Sure, I work Falkenberg, Orient, and Land O'Lakes Jail.
All right, so you deal with a lot of inmates?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Don't expect the crazy in this neighborhood, but...
Okay.
Oh, I'm sure everybody here heard screaming, but I want her arrested if at all possible. I mean, she threatened to kill me,
Tell me she's going to run my kids over.
Have a good night.
I'm a doctor, and I will have a beautiful home and a beautiful everything. And you never will.
The broom lady that Catherine mentioned, Coker also wrote an email about her. That too from his official account. His official email was less for actual jail matters and acted more like his personal Twitter. After the thorough investigation, Deputy Edward Coker was decertified, meaning he was fired from his job and would never be able to work for any agency again. But, strangely enough, the psycho wife is still working at the jail as a psychologist. She's better suited to be in one of those cells instead of monitoring inmates. That brings us to the conclusion of this case. We decided to do something a little new with our videos. Less flashiness and more a deep dive style of video. What do you think of this long form content? Let me know in the comments below. And be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. This is Detective Mystery, signing off.